This is Jason the Funky Trumpet. I want to thank you for your support and likes to the channel. This message has been brought to you by artificial intelligence. Yo! Welcome back. My name is Jason the Funky Trumpet. Welcome to History of the Digital Age. Oh my god! We have gone through a couple of years. If this is not your first time, welcome to musical experience, History of the Digital Age. My entire channel is showing you what's possible in the realm of music and history. Quick note, real quick, help me get up to the 1,000 mark, and I will send out some 3D prints. If you have noticed in some of my live streams, there are ASMR 3D printing. I've been doing that for 5 years now, and I want to give a big shout out to Anycubic and Creality because they have been very wonderful to me, and Hatchbox Filament because they keep sending me really cool PLA that I've been using for, well, this is a fidget scope. You can fidget around with these all day long. Everybody I know has anxiety in some form, whether it be due to natural causes or algorithms and whatnot. But being that we're about to go through some history stuff, I wanted to give you a little bit of enticement to stay to the end. So stay to the end, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell so when I drop a video you see it first. And we're going to go back to 2002. The previous years we started with 99, the year I graduated high school. I know, long time ago. 2000, crazy time. 2001, we all know what happened. 2002, I got something I wanted to show you guys. This is actually my ticket stub from Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man, May 12th, 2002. Speaking of Spider-Man, big shout out to one of my former students who reminded me that I have not one, but 7 different pairs of Edith glasses. So, they saw my video and were like, yeah, why aren't you rocking your Edith glasses anymore? I am now, so there you go. Enjoy your holiday break, and when school gets back in, study. So, with that being said, let's go back into the time stream and see what happened the year 2002. My god. Crazy. I turned 21 that year. And, yeah. I wonder what else happened. Let's see. What else happened in 2002?
Arriving just 3 months after the terrorist attacks of September 11th, 2002 felt more like a new world than a new year.
I swear by my pretty floral bonnet, I will end you.
The year saw a series of corporate bankruptcies, a sports legend beginning his dynasty, a music icon showing us a different side, and much more.
That ain't right.
We're going to talk about the news, culture, sports, entertainment,
Ozzy! Oh my god, the Osbournes! Oh!
and all that was weird in the aughts. This is Timeline.
Alright, let's get into it. What happened? Put in the comments, what were you doing in 2002?
We hope you like seeing steroid monsters hit home runs, because this one is all about 2002. But before we get started, be sure to subscribe to the Weird History channel and let us know.
I'm gonna say it in every video, go subscribe to Weird History. They do amazing work. They have decades of these. This is just very pinnacle and very important to me. That's why we're doing it. That's why I'm showcasing it. But go subscribe to them, and all credit to them.
Know in the comments below what aughts track you want to nab from Napster. Now thwip your web slinger and attack those clones. This is 2002.
The stove.
Over here.
I mean, my stove. I think I left it on.
The euro, the common currency of the European Union, was officially launched on January 1st, 1999. But for the first 3 years of its existence, it was only used for things without physical money, like electronic payments and accounting. But all that changed on the first day of 2002 with the introduction
Think Bitcoin, just without the coin.
Of euro banknotes and coins across all 12 EU countries, making it the largest known cash changeover in history. President George W. Bush signed the No Child Left Behind Act on
I will die on this hill. That was one of the worst things. I'm a former teacher. That was one of the worst. We said it then. One of the worst possible things to happen to the public school system was that. And don't at me, I'm not going to get into an argument. My opinion.
On January 8th,
We're asking states to design accountability systems to show parents and teachers whether or not children can read and write and add and subtract in grades 3 through 8.
an update to the elementary and secondary education.
Coming from the dude who says nuclear as nuclear. And, whoa, we have decades of sound bites from that dude. It'd be funny if it weren't so just, like, sad how far our country fell in 8 years.
Act of 1965, the law focused on measuring student and teacher skills and performance against standards set by each state. It created goals for public education and cuts to federal funding for schools that failed to meet them. On March 23, 1991, Sierra Leone was plunged into civil war when the Revolutionary United Front attempted to overthrow the government of Joseph Momo. The war would ultimately take the lives of over 50,000 people and displace another 500,000 before finally being declared over by newly installed President Ahmed Tejan Kaba on January 18th.
Select Kmart stores are closing. Everything's on sale and must be sold now.
Kmart, then America's second largest retailer, filed for bankruptcy.
Dude, I'm old enough to remember the Blue Light Special. I had friends that worked at the Big K and Kmart. I ate at their freaking cafes. Oh my god, this was a blow to the gut.
Protection under Chapter 11. A far cry from a blue light special, Kmart became the largest retailer in U.S. history to ever file for bankruptcy. After dismissing its president, CEO, and board, closing 300 stores, and laying off around 34,000 employees, Kmart would finally emerge from bankruptcy in 2003. Wall Street Journal reporter Daniel Pearl was on his way to what he believed was a meeting in Karachi, Pakistan, when he was kidnapped by an Islamist militant group on January 23rd. After accusing the Jewish-American journalist of being a spy, Pearl's captors released photos of him in cuffs with a gun to his head. U.S. intelligence wasn't able to find Pearl before he was beheaded on February 1st. A grisly video of his murder was subsequently released on the internet, instantly becoming notorious. On February 3rd, the New England Patriots stunned the world by defeating the heavily favored St. Louis Rams in Super Bowl 36 at the Louisiana Superdome.
And it's right down the pipe. And the Patriots have won Super Bowl 36.
The win would mark the first Super Bowl victory for MVP Tom Brady, who would go on to become one of the greatest athletes of all time. Until...
I'm sure they're great, but if they showed marching bands at halftime, I'd probably watch football games.
After 23 years, 7 Super Bowl victories, 3 league MVP awards, 5 Super Bowl MVP awards, and 1 previous retirement, Tom Brady finally called it quits on February 1st, 2023.
There was one guy, like when he first retired, one rich dude bid on his last football, and then he ended up coming back and playing again. Can you imagine being that dude who bid? I look it up. I'd have to do some searching. He paid a ridiculous amount of money for this football, only to have Tom Brady come back and play later. That's like buying MJ's last pair of shoes and then him coming back, like what, wearing the fourth. Oh my God, no, that was comedy.
Thank you guys for allowing me to live my absolute dream. I wouldn't change a thing.
Speaking of sports, the Winter Olympic Games kicked off in Salt Lake City, Utah on February 8th. The Games were officially opened by President Bush.
I declare open the Games of Salt Lake City, celebrating the Olympic Winter Games.
The opening ceremonies paid tribute to the victims and heroes of the September 11th attacks. Norway won the most medals, 25 total, 13 gold. Geez, what's in that Norwegian water? On March 3rd, after 50-odd years of sitting things out, the nation of Switzerland voted to join the United Nations. Voters backed the resolution by a margin of 55 to 45%, but the second round was much narrower, the resolution being approved by a margin of just 1 vote. Jeez, what's in that Swedish water?
Yo, when they tell you your vote doesn't count, remember that moment. 1 vote decided that.
Very simple, man. You gotta have like computer knowledge to turn the fucking TV on and off. Jeff! I pressed this one button and the shower starts. I'm going, what is this? Where am I, man? And the nightmare continues.
people like downloaded my songs off the internet and were like, knew all my lyrics and stuff. Even before Complicated came out and I was playing.
You know what? Say what you will. Avril can sing. I know the conspiracy theories about her being replaced, blah, 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 blah. Avril has a voice, and I dated a little skater chick like that back around 2003. She was my Hurley girl. Oh my god.
That song live, there'd be like people up on.
Also, the fact that this is on that she was on the Deadpool and Wolverine soundtrack, that absolutely floored me in the theaters.
Stage that knew all the words to all my songs. I thought that was cool.
Good cop and bad cop left for the day. I'm a different kind of cop.
You dropped a grenade in his lap, and what'd you do? Just run?
I did what I thought had to be done at the time.
You killed him because you were scared. He was strong, and you were a coward.
Oh, I miss the early days, like E-Bomb's World and the Numa Numa guy and all those. The Star Wars kid. I miss that era of the internet.
I gotta tell you, I've had some great deals come my way, but a big and tasty.
Nah, no. Sorry,
For just $1, you did your thing, dog. Not that I'm calling you a dog. I mean, you're more like a big purple. I don't know what you are. What you say about my mama?
Huh? Get a delicious, big and tasty, a McChicken sandwich and more every day on McDonald's Dollar Menu.
You got it, bro.
Bring back the
You're
Dollar
in love.
Menu.
Grimace. Bump with me.
On March 14th, normal human Elon Musk founded the space exploration technologies company SpaceX to reduce the cost of space travel and eventually establish a human presence on Mars.
At the current prices that NASA pays for space transportation, I don't think we'll be able to achieve anything interesting in space.
SpaceX would become the first private company to do things like develop a liquid propellant rocket and send astronauts to the International Space Station. A magnitude 6.1 earthquake.
And then he'd blow up a whole bunch of rockets.
Struck Narin, Afghanistan on March 25th, killing over 1,200 people and leaving more than 10,000 homeless. The region had been hit by an earthquake on March 3rd and would be hit again just a few weeks later on April 12th. So, don't ask those guys what's shaking.
I kind of admitted some things to him about my past that are very personal.
Did you fake it ever?
So
one of the downfall of our society, you can see it in real time in this century. Reality TV was like one of the worst things to happen.
Well, that was really nice.
Come on, that's the best question I've had all day. I'm glad I know.
Sunday, March 31st, brought professional tennis history when superstar Andre Agassi won the 700th match of his career in a nail-biter
I got his autograph back when he had a mullet.
Against Roger Federer.
He has his 700th career win.
He was only the 9th player to ever reach 700 wins. No, it's not an April Fool's prank. The Netherlands' new law made the country the first in the world to let doctors end the lives of patients with terminal diseases who were deemed to be suffering unbearably. Dr. Jack Kevorkian must have been fuming. The world mourned on March 30th when Queen Elizabeth...
I was gonna say, like, Kevorkian something, there's a joke there, insert it into your IV tube.
Elizabeth died at the age of 101.
Towards Westminster, the crowds swelled now by thousands of tourists, but filled by the tens of thousands for whom she was simply the Queen Mum.
After lying in state so that over 200,000 people could pay their respects, her funeral was on April 9th at Westminster Abbey. We bet even those stoic guards with the fuzzy hats.
Hey, real quick. Do you know why the pyramids of Giza aren't in the British Museum? 3, 2, 1. They were too heavy. Oh!
Shed a tear. On April 14th, Tiger Woods won his second consecutive Masters tournament, a feat previously accomplished only by Jack Nicklaus and Nick Faldo. If that's not impressive enough, his 4-day total of 12 under par set a record for lowest 72-hole score by a defending champ. He's got the eye of the tiger, all right.
Peter, these are the years when a man changes into the man he's going to become the rest of his life. Just be careful who you change into. Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
On September 6th.
Sorry, I gotta correct that. The only person to get it right was Aunt May, because it was written in a byline by Stan Lee. Uncle Ben never actually said that. It's with you have great power, and with great power there must also come great responsibility. And Uncle Ben never said it. I have seen Uncle Ben get pew-pewed on camera more than I have seen my dad and my mom kiss.
16th, 1963, a bomb exploded at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, Alabama, killing 4 young girls. Despite determining the identities of the 4 bombers by 1965, the FBI failed to prosecute at the time. After authorities reopened the case in later years, garnering murder convictions in 1977 and 2001, it wasn't until 2002 that the 4th and final living Klansman was brought to trial and convicted. That same day, the remains of former Federal Bureau of Prisoners intern Chandra Levy were discovered in Washington.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. See, this is the problem of us living in a 24-hour news cycle. Everything gets passed and pushed under the rug. I'm from Tulsa, Oklahoma, so look up 1921 or what's the movie Killers of the Flower Moon that just came out? Yeah, all that was happening around here about a century ago. This is crazy.
Washington's D.C. Rock Creek Park. Reported missing on May 1st, the case became national news when it broke that Levy had an affair with then-Congressman Gary Condit.
Did you have a romantic...
Dude, what is up with Congress and having, extra freaking, toe rub a neighbor? Lauren Bobe, what's her face, Bobo, and, my God, Magic the Gathering, what is up with them, doing nasty stuff, romantic
relationship with Chandra Levy?
Well, once again, I've been married 34 years. I have not been a perfect man.
That means I did it.
It's best that I not get into the details of the relationship.
That definitely means I did it. Really?
Mar Gwandike, a man already serving time in jail, was eventually convicted, and Condit's reputation never recovered.
If you're not here to cooperate, then why are you here?
Ain't nobody gonna talk to you.
As rough as that neighborhood could be, we had us a community.
The Wire, I don't care who you are, The Wire is one of the greatest shows to ever be put on television.
And now all we got is bodies and predatory motherfuckers like you. Makes me sick, motherfucker, how far we done fell.
You sent me to kill Wambosi.
Yeah, we can do that anytime we want.
Who am I?
You're U.S. government property. I don't send you to kill. I send you to be invisible. I send you because you don't exist.
On June 24th, tragedy struck Tanzania. Over 280 people were killed when a brake failure caused a passenger train to roll backward down a hill, crashing into a freight train. Though the idea for such a tribunal was first suggested in World War I, it wouldn't be until July 1st, 2002, that the International Criminal Court was created. Based at The Hague in the Netherlands, the body is sanctioned by those countries who signed the Rome Statute to prosecute political leaders accused of war crimes, genocide, or other crimes against humanity. But unfortunately, not your neighbor when he parks in your driveway. Speaking of court, on July 15th, the so-called American Taliban, John Walker Lind, pleaded guilty. An American citizen who fought with the Taliban against the ruling Northern Alliance in Afghanistan, Lind denied ever fighting against any American forces. He was...
For those of you who didn't, or weren't old enough, or aren't old enough, weren't there, weren't paying attention, this dude defected, went AWOL, pretended to be captured, pretended he was like the George Santos or whatever it is of the army. It's like his story just kept changing every 5 minutes, and yeah.
Was sentenced to 20 years in federal prison and would be released for good behavior on May 23rd, 2019.
Come with us, Charlie. It'll be an adventure. Oh my God.
Is there a problem?
Yeah, you whacked me pretty hard there.
Whack? No, I might have tapped at parking, but I didn't whack it.
Yeah, you slammed into me there.
Slam.
Yeah, slam.
I'm glad. Oh, look who's here. I'm glad you're here to see this. I can't drive this home, and my wife's upstairs giving blood. I don't know if I mentioned that.
The new Passat wagon. It only looks like $1 million.
Oh.
Yeah, back when commercials were funny.
I'm not an internist, but I think I got some bleeding going on here.
In 2002, WorldCom was the #2 long-distance phone.
MCI WorldCom, oh my god. After the .com bubble, woo! Yeah, this was one of those we knew it was going to happen. We just had to sit back and be like, yep, watch the roller coaster just fall.
Company in the United States.
I believe I can call. I think I'll use the phone in the hall.
But on July 21st, just 1 month after revealing it had improperly booked a mind-blowing $3.8 billion in expenses, the company filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection. Meanwhile, Kmart was like, thank God, it's not just us.
Hearing the Misfits and so morbid and yet made me feel free. Mikey and I worked at a Barnes & Noble. He ended up with a whole stack of Irvine Welsh books. And on the back cover of one of them it said 4 Tales of Chemical Romance. And we'd drive around listening to like the Get Up Kids talking about how we wanted to be in a band. And he'd said, yeah, if we had a band, we'd call it My Chemical Romance.
On July 24th, after...
Fun fact, he was inspired to create that band after watching the tragedy of September 11th. And, he ended up, Gerard Way ended up writing the comic The Boys, which would become the series The Boys. So you can thank him for Billy Butcher.
After representing himself in a 2-month federal trial where he was convicted of taking bribes, filing false tax returns, racketeering, and other crimes, James Traficant,
Do I do my hair with a weed whacker? I admit.
was expelled from the United States House of Representatives.
It is your duty, uphold the integrity of this House of Representatives, and vote to expel Jim Traficant.
The 2 members who violated a 17-year-old page boy and a 17-year-old page girl were not expelled.
The Ohio...
Was I not just talking about that earlier? Okay, so apparently it's been a thing for years. So has Congress ever had any moral standing to it?
Ohio Democrat was booted by a vote of 420 to 1. And that one was, you guessed it, Gary Condit.
Wow. I wonder how many Diddy parties they went to.
On that same day, 18 coal miners in the Q Creek mine...
I do remember this. Oh my god, this was on 24/7.
in Somerset County, Pennsylvania, became trapped after they accidentally dug into an abandoned mine, releasing 75 million gallons of water. The miners would be stuck for 77 hours before being rescued on July 28th.
They were professionals, were protected appropriately, and they had a whole lot of good people on top working to get them out as quickly as possible, so their outcome was much better than the usual entrapped trauma patient.
They were freezing cold and in dire shape, but they all survived. Sports history was made on August 9th when San Francisco Giants outfielder Barry Bonds hit the 600th
Put a big ol' asterisk by that. We'll come back to that one.
600th home run of his
Put a pin in that. We'll come back to that one.
career.
Swing and a long one. This one is way back. It is out of here.
The 421-foot solo shot made Bonds only the 4th major leaguer ever, after Babe Ruth, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron, to reach the 600 mark. But 5 years later, Bonds would be indicted by a federal grand jury. The slugger was accused of lying under oath when he denied knowingly taking steroids. And even though the only conviction from the charges would be overturned in 2015...
Your head does not get bigger from working out.
Bonds' damaged reputation would keep him from being elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
America has made their decision.
I voted in that. I actually voted for Kelly, and I'm proud to say I voted for Kelly, and she has absolutely lived up to that, because she is one of the most... She forgets how famous she is. It's funny. Go watch videos of her. She forgets her own lyrics.
The winner of American Idol 2002 is Kelly Clarkson.
Pretty much thinking, how am I going to sing this next song while I'm crying?
On September 21st, Farm Aid 02 rocked the Post-Gazette Pavilion in Burgettstown, Pennsylvania.
How we feeling, Pennsylvania? Take it out.
To raise some
all right.
money for American farmers in need. The lineup included stars like Willie Nelson, Neil Young, John Mellencamp, Dave Matthews, Keith Urban, Leanne Womack, and Los Lonely Boys. Just 2 days later, on September 23rd, Mozilla released the first public version of its free open
Mozilla, we miss you.
source web browser.
The way you used to be.
developed over concerns about the effects of commercial sponsorship on browser technology. Originally named Phoenix 0.1, the browser would later be renamed Firebird, then finally Firefox. Feeling the heat yet? On October 2nd, Beltway snipers John Muhammad and Lee Boyd Malvo began a shooting spree that would kill 10 people and injure 3 more over 3 weeks in October. Targeting random individuals, the killers brought Washington, D.C. to a near halt.
Sitting on the front porch, it could be us, could be me, could be anybody.
What's the matter with him? He just got shot.
Is this the Ponderosa?
Who is this?
Don't say anything, just listen.
For reasons that are still unclear, the two would bring about their own downfall after phoning a tip into a local priest. They would be arrested on October 23rd, bringing their reign of terror to an end.
Chocolate rain.
They were in the back of the trunk, like they had holes rigged into. Hold on, back up a little bit. See that car? Hold on. The car that they were using had holes right there. They were sitting at the. God, this is not a laughing matter. It's just it's incredible what they were able to do, in the worst sense possible.
Brought Washington, D.C.
Yeah, they hid and
to a near halt.
There it is. You see the hole right there? They'd hide and then aim out and
Sitting on the front porch, it could be us.
And I know that because that's a Crown Victoria. I had a Crown Victoria.
Us, could be me.
I know how big the trunk is.
Anybody.
What's the matter with him? He just got shot.
Is this the Ponderosa?
Who is this?
Don't say anything, just listen.
For reasons that are still unclear, the two would bring about their own downfall after phoning a tip into a local priest. They would be arrested on October 23rd, bringing their reign of terror to an end.
Chocolate rain. The prisons make you wonder where it went.
I miss the old internet. Chocolate rain.
My new phone? Sleek, huh?
Yeah, Ving, it's different.
All the latest features and big buttons.
Yeah, Ving, but don't you think it's kind of...
Did I mention big buttons?
He loves...
Dude, take my smartphone. Give me one of those.
His big phone, and you'll love our big Motorola deals. At Radio Shack, get the Motorola V120C for just $9.99 with activation.
On October 11th, former U.S. President Jimmy Carter was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for, as the committee stated, his decades of untiring effort to find peaceful solutions to international conflicts, to advance democracy and human rights, and to promote economic and social development.
Yeah, that was actually video of him building houses. After he was done being president, he went and started building houses for Habitat for Humanity. And did that for decades. The dude is a legend. I believe he just turned 100 as the time of this recording.
War may sometimes be a necessary evil. We will not learn how to live together in peace by killing each other's children.
Carter wasn't the first president to win the prize, being preceded by Theodore Roosevelt and Woodrow Wilson. He also wasn't the last, because on October 9th, 2009, President Barack Obama scored the same award, being nominated after serving only 11 days in his presidency for his extraordinary efforts to strengthen international diplomacy and cooperation between peoples.
Clear-eyed, we can understand that there will be war and still strive for peace, for that is the story of human progress.
No violence toward you, but you have...
Wow, he looks so young in that. Hold on.
For that is the...
Look at that. Whoo! He looks so... God, I think I'm older than he is in that video.
Story of human progress.
No violence toward you, but you have guns in the house. Loaded. They're loaded. You've never been a victim of crime. You haven't been assaulted here. You haven't been...
I'm class of 99. Columbine changed everything for us. It changed the world. And they said it would never happen again. It's 25 years later, and it's still happening.
That's true.
So why not? Why don't you unload the gun?
I'm exercising one of the rights passed on down to me from those wise old dead white guys that invented this country.
Really? Really? Really?
The shooting tonight in a recording studio in Queens, taking the life of the man known as Jam Master Jay. His real name, Jason Mizell.
Tragedy would strike again on October 30th when Run DMC member Jam Master Jay was shot and killed in his recording studio in New York City.
It just blows your mind when you think about the fact that this guy was killed, because he's not that kind of guy. It's not like a East Coast, West Coast thing.
Jay was killed during what is now generally believed to be a drug deal gone bad. His killers, Ronald Washington and Carl Jordan Jr., would be convicted on February 27, 2024. A third suspect was charged in 2023 and has yet to go to trial.
That one will never stop hurting.
The Iraq disarmament crisis began on November 8th when the United Nations Security Council unanimously approved Resolution 1441, giving Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein a final opportunity to comply with disarmament obligations or face serious consequences.
In the name of freedom, will this man disarm? And if he does not disarm, the United States of America will lead a coalition and disarm him in the name of peace.
Iraq would agree to the resolution just 5 days later, but subsequent developments would lead directly to a multinational invasion of the country on March 20th, 2003. On November 18th, Brainwashed, the 12th and final studio album from Beatles guitarist George Harrison, was posthumously released. The album, completed by George's son Danny and longtime collaborator Jeff Lynne, would garner positive reviews, crack the top 20 on U.S. charts, and spawn the track Marwah Blues, which would win a Grammy for Best Pop Instrumental Performance. Federal law enforcement in the U.S. changed forever on November 25th, when President Bush signed the Homeland Security Act. A direct response to the attacks of September 11, 2001, the act grouped the federal agencies involved in protection under a single banner. The new Department of Homeland Security would be charged with protecting the national security of the United States, including infrastructure protection, emergency preparedness, and transportation security. On December 18th, the New York Times reported that icon fashion designer Calvin Klein was selling his company to Phillips Van Heusen for roughly $430 million in cash and stock, with the potential for another $300 million in future royalties. It was a good purchase for PVH because in 2022, CK's worldwide retail sales were $9.3 billion. That's what, a single wool tie?
These are the most powerful people in New York City, and they keep peeking over their shoulders, wondering.
I love this because it's recently come out that, like, most of everything he ever said was a lie. So the fact that the book was a lie, the movie's a lie, based on a book that was a lie, it's amazing. Also, Abagnale has a house in Oklahoma and is known to stop at certain restaurants.
Where you going tonight? Where you going, Frank? Someplace exotic? Just tell me where you're going. The rest of us really are suckers.
Founded by Reid Hoffman and Eric Lai in Mountain View, California, the business-focused social media platform LinkedIn wouldn't actually go online until May of 2003, but it was founded on December 28, 2002. Growing into a popular tool for online job searches and employee recruitment, it now has over 1 billion users in over 200 different countries. And every single one of them wants to connect with you. And that's how 2002 ended. With an increasingly dangerous world, a burgeoning online destiny, and an HBO show everyone screams at you to watch. But we were only beginning to realize quite how much 9/11 and the internet would change everything in the following year. And the
Dear God, he is so right on that one.
king was about to return. Not Elvis, Aragorn. But that's all for next year. Coming soon, 2003.
What do you think? Must have been before my time.
So what do you
Ouch! Ouch!
think? What's your fondest
memory? All right, go subscribe to Weird History. And holy crap, what is your favorite memory from 2002? Obviously, Spider-Man. I've got a lot of memories from 2002 that are legendary, but I don't want to say any of them on camera because we didn't necessarily have social media the way we do now. God, that's insane. All right, 2003 is coming up next. And with that being said, like, share, subscribe. It's been 20-something years. And this seems like yesterday. I said it in the last video. We're one of the first generations to be able to look at what we did growing up in almost real time. I mean, we'll do the 2020 video here soon. And that, whoo, that's just like a decade in itself. Oh my God. All right. Have a good night. Happy holidays, and we will see you on the next one. We'll keep going. Keep going. Peace.